it's Wednesday. We already know how the vibe is. It's TMC Wednesdays, and I know that this video is going to be long. So before we even go too far, before any further ado, just like, comment, subscribe, get yourself some chilled drink, and let's go into this video. Like, this episode was really packed with a lot of things, but personally I just feel like some things were off. And I think the main thing I would say is that I feel like this episode seemed really rushed. Like it seemed like they were packing a lot of things into this episode. They were trying to tie up a lot of loose ends, maybe because we're getting towards the end of the season. So it just felt like there were so many episodes in the past that were mostly just banter, ha ha ha, which I don't mind though, but like I feel like we could have spread it out a little bit more to make it more even. Like, even last episode was nothing too much, and then this episode is gbas, take, collect. It was, I don't know. That was just how I felt about the whole this thing. So you already know how we're going to do it. We're going to go character by character and unpack everything. Let's start with Tiara and Taiyo. Now, yeah, I feel like with their relationship, there's a lot of miscommunication. I feel like there are so many things that somebody would say and the other person would hear something else. Because even the first conversation they were having at the beginning of the episode, Taiyo would say something and Tiara would hear something completely different. Do you understand? And I also feel like Taiyo really could have given her decency of not telling her father where he found her, because he kind of knew what that meant for her. And I just feel like he really could have not. Like, he didn't really have to. Another thing I felt, another place that I really had tolerant embarrassment was when she told him, I love you, and he was like, Ed, don't fucking kill me. Basically, because that was what he said. He's just looking at me like, God, these small children, they've started again. And I get that she was upset that he didn't say it back, but at the same time, does she really want him to lie and tell her that he loves her when he doesn't actually love her? Like, I know it can be embarrassing, which is why people tend to wait until they are certain that both parties actually love each other. And for me, I feel like he actually does love her. I just feel like he hasn't realized it yet, because like she said, and like I said in my past video, he's like a little babysitter. He's like a babysitter, a big brother. So maybe he hasn't fully seen her in that romantic light yet, and which is why he doesn't realize that, oh, perhaps I may actually love this girl. You know, with him running after her and everything, we know he cares a lot for her. We know he cares very deeply for her. Maybe he hasn't just realized how much he loves her yet. I also feel like, Taiyo really does not think sometimes, because when he was yarning stuff like, oh, we don't really, not as if we're trying to get married. I'm like, why are you telling someone that you're dating that it's not as if you guys are trying to get married? Like, even if you guys are trying to get married now, it may seem, of course, that's not in your plan at all. So Taiyo needs to sometimes think and act the age he actually is. Do you understand? Now, one part that I felt was so rushed and I felt it was really, really, really unrealistic was Tiara reconciling with her father. I felt like, for her to come out and tell her father that, you don't know me, you just you literally use money to raise me, you don't know me, you don't know what drugs I'm even addicted to or what drugs I use, you don't know anything about me, I basically had to raise myself. And the father gives like one minute, oh, I have to make money for all the expenses that you're spending, yada 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 yada, and then the hug and everything is forgiven. And I just found that to be quite unrealistic, because I feel like if you're unpacking about not 22, but like some years worth of like pain, and talking about how much you've had to like endure, I just felt like the reconciliation was so quick, was so rushed, was so fast. And and then the next thing, she switches to Taiyo, and also she's trying to reconcile when 5-10 minutes ago she was telling him she doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And I like that Taiyo asked her for time, but at the same time she's like, he's like, oh, we're not broken up, blah blah. Like, everything just seemed unrealistic to me. I just felt like so much is happening, and why is nobody actually saying, wait, Tiara, do you understand what's happening? Because she did seem a little bit unstable. 5 minutes ago she's like, get out, and now she's like, oh, I want us to be together, yada yada. Like, stressed me. That's just the truth. With Tonya and Luis, now I really kind of feel bad for Tonya, but at the same time I don't, because from the very, very, very beginning, Tonya has always known that Luis didn't love her. And I've asked in many of my videos why Tonya has chosen to constantly fight for someone that doesn't want her, and why she constantly wants to embarrass herself over Luis. And you know, the whole drama she has given us this whole season, collecting the house, the hotel, arresting him, arresting his mom, all of that, and then her now thinking that they can put everything behind them and be friends. Tonya, where? Like, Tonya, you've known this, and I get that Luis has his own faults for even going along with his mother's whole thing, but he was always honest with you, and like, you've really caused a lot of drama for him in his life these past few months episodes. And I just was really confused when he was talking to her. He needed to apologize to her. That was like the right thing to do. But then I started feeling like, are they becoming friends? What's happening? Tonya's like, oh, you know, are you going to leave me? Blah, blah, blah. And it just seemed like, Tonya, you still do not realize that you can't force this man into loving you. I think her plan was to get him to literally choose her because he wants the house and he wants the hotel and blah, blah, blah. But you can't do that. You've tried to make him love you for so many months, so many seasons. Let him go. He doesn't want you. Just let him go. And I felt like if they had reconciled and become Gucci, maybe not like romantically together, but friends, I'd have been like, this is really unrealistic because my mother is in the cell because of you. So thankfully, they cut that short and Luis walked out on her. But other than that, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Luis and Lola actually beginning to bore me and annoy me because I don't know, it gives me this vibe like they don't really have a lot of conversations. They have a lot of chemistry, a lot of physical chemistry, and I think that's probably because of how their relationship started. You know, it was a lot of sex and all of that in the beginning, but now it's like they don't really have conversations, which would make sense because almost everything that happens in Luis's life, Lola does not know. She has to find out one way or another. Embarrassing. But you know, I just get bored now when I see them on my screen and the next thing they're kissing. But not Luis even trying to get married with Aminu as the officiating priest, like a officiating minister. It don't make no sense. Luis, come off that. Speaking of Aminu, first things first, that whole Houston, Lagos, that whole thing was unnecessary. They shouldn't have. And like, it just seemed very out of place for me. And you know, him now coming out, going under the rain to receive call, and you know, too many saying, I don't want anything. Hey, God forbid bad thing. She's like, I don't want anything, I just miss you. Hey, God. I was like, okay, what's the point of this? So it's like they wanted to prove to us that he traveled, but like, hey, God, I don't even know. I don't know. Go necessary. Aminu has really been portrayed as that dumb guy this whole episode, this whole season rather, and I was happy that he finally had the whole Clint thing sorted. But that one too seemed fake because they didn't even beat Clint too. No blood, no swollen eye, nothing. Even when Aminu called like prepare him, I thought that some basketballs they will first beast him black and blue. They will first beast him so that he'll be ready to talk. They didn't even beat him. My guy was just singing like a damn canary. I'm like, this is a weak man. That's what I thought to myself. I'm like, Clint, you're a weak man. Because he just opened his mouth wide. He was just saying everything. And even when like 2 minutes cut on, immediately he was like, oh, for his girlfriend, the one that has a child. I mean, I was still saying, what does that mean? And 2 minutes just there like, oh, God damn. And I don't know. Again, the way the whole thing happened, like, so since they've not yet beaten him, I don't know, Sha, but I'm happy that Aminu has finally found out. I really hope that he believes what Clint is saying, because Aminu can actually hear all these things and still be saying that Clint is lying or that promise was set up. So I really hope that he actually believes everything that Clint is saying and he actually takes the right steps, which means promise, run. Promise, run, no, because Aminu is coming and he's going to come and do DNA test. Man, Promise she really fumbled this bag, guys. She really fumbled the bag. And I also wish she had just like, from the onset, told her mother everything, because maybe her mother would have been able to help her and, you know, figure everything out. And you didn't even help her with her lies, because Promise did lie die. She did lie fire. But I just don't know why she didn't, and now the whole thing's probably going to blow up in her face. And you know, from the trailer it felt like, or it seemed like the mother was coming to cause drama, but so far I haven't really seen any reason why the mother was here. No offense, I just feel like the season could have gone on without her mother. Like, the big thing the mother really did, let's be honest, was reveal that her name is Promise. But I just feel like other than that, yeah, necessary. She wasn't really that necessary. Maybe things will change between now and the ending of the season, but so far I haven't really been too impressed with her being there. Not her acting, but just the whole character. Now, men will embarrass you. Women will embarrass you because Promise, but men will also embarrass you. Not Taiyo going to meet his ex, and you know, this is the same ex that basically made Tiara spiral. This is the same ex that you've had in your life since when you were married. You've always had her in the picture somehow. And then now your girl is in rehab. A girl that wanted to break up with you and you were telling her, don't worry, I'm going to come and visit you. Lies. Now she's in rehab and you're calling your ex. You say you want to talk to your ex. That, you don't have friends. What happened to Lanre? What happened to Luis? What happened to Aminu? Of all the people you now called Hadiza, not only did you now call her, yeah, you're now yarning her things like, do you ever think of what could have been? We all know that those kind of conversations lead to, I wish I had known, like, Taiyo, you're actually embarrassing me. Like, Taiyo, you're killing me. And I like the fact that Hadiza actually told him that you can't be shifting or shuffling between me and her at whenever you want. Because he's kind of always done that. When he was married, he was shuffling between both of them. Like, he's just always done that. And Hadiza is not a saint, because she has always been in the picture, even when he was even when she knew he was involved with other people. And then she also had the whole scenario where she tried to paint it as if something more was happening when Tierra saw them. But Taiyo needs to actually man up, take time out to think about what he really wants, because clearly him and Hadiza have some sort of chemistry, because they're in the same age bracket and everything, and she probably is more of the woman he wants on paper. So I feel like he needs to take time to actually figure out what he wants. And this is the reason why he shouldn't have told Tiara, we're still together, we aren't broken up. Because like I've said in my videos, they need time apart to actually figure out if they want to be together and if they want it to work. So that's how I feel. I just didn't like it. And another thing I didn't like was when she was like, oh, you're attracted to spoiled rich girls. And he didn't say anything. He was like, oh, I should be upset, but I'm not. I'm like, yeah, granted, you are not upset, but she's also kind of using such adjectives on your girlfriend. Like, that's disrespectful to me. But maybe it's just me being very sensitive. I don't know. Luis's mother is such an annoying character, and for the kind of mother that he has, I think he actually turned out pretty decent, because she's rude, she's so, I don't even know the word, like she's not just a good person at all. And it is very, very annoying how like she keeps treating Lola. And even though she knows that the only reason why Luis is kind of in her life is because of Lola, she still does not accord Lola respect, and she also does not respect Lola's mother. And it was just unnecessary how she treated them at the lunch, how she was nitpicking at everything, how she was shading Lola's mother, and Lola's mother has to be the prim and proper kind woman and ignore her. But Luis too, even though I so much love it, I didn't him now calling Lola's mother mom, and then they're like, yes, and he's like, oh, I was actually talking to Lola's mother. I'm like, Luis, what were you trying to achieve? Luis, tell me. But yeah, like, that woman needs to actually go and sleep in the jail, because she doesn't deserve to be out. That's the truth. Now to the main man, to my baby. Hey God, do you know, like, every time I just talk, I just start blushing. Anyway, to him, man, to be very honest, I actually was really embarrassed for him this episode. Like, they've been embarrassing him all season, but this episode was quite embarrassing. In the beginning, when I saw him talking to Fiona, I was like, Lanre, are we here? Are we here again? Lanre, why? Then he was like, oh, let's just be friends. I said, Fairs, okay, Fairs, no wala. Then he now invited Mrs. Dorego to his house. He cooked. Wore apron, even though I don't know why guys always wear apron when they want to cook. Well, he wore apron, got everything sorted, and she was just looking at the food. Like, oh, I don't think any of us should eat it. I'm like, ma, eat this food. My baby cooked. And look at how nervous and fidgety he was. Oh, God. Anyway, so he did all of that. And then Fiona decides to show up. And when Fiona is showing up, they now say they want to really embarrass him. Because, the whole, is this the toy boy you're talking about, was unnecessary. You could tell that she was just trying to give low blow. Just busy from under. And, her calling him a gigolo and all that. Considering the fact that he's never asked her for anything. If anything, he's the one bringing champagne, bringing food, bringing this. Like, he's never asked her for money or for contracts. So, her now saying, oh, I should have known you were a gigolo, was unnecessary in my opinion, because I'm like, why are you being so rude to him? He has not done anything to give you that impression about him. Like, granted, he likes older women, but that's the only thing. You understand? Like, even with Fiona, they have a mutual understanding. They have a business partnership where she gets him contract, he gives her a cut. He's not taking anything from anybody. I felt really embarrassed for him. And I also think that he's tried with these two women to be exclusive, and they didn't want that. You know, they are the ones, if anything, they're the ones using him to satisfy their pleasures, and then they're making it seem like he's doing something wrong. If you want him all to yourself, why not just accept when he asks you out or whatever? Like, why are you guys making such a huge scene? Especially Fiona, who has done this multiple times. Like, Fiona, you need to realize that you can't have him at your beck and call and still not want to be exclusive. Like, it really annoyed me because they embarrassed my man and I didn't like it. I'm getting quite passionate about it. I really like the fact that when he told her to leave, they were playing that "Won't You Fuck Up." I was like, yes, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. And to be fair, I think they have like decent choice of music. Their music choice, it do decent. Anyway, guys, I have come to the end of everything I wanted to say. In summary, human beings will embarrass you. That's 1. 2, Jasmine, I be promise, run, oh, because they are coming for you. 3, Hadiza is a babe. You see that look that she pulled off? That her look, now she's a babe. 4, this episode seemed so rushed, and I'm hoping that the other episodes will be a bit more paced so that they don't spoil all the good work they've done. Because I don't know, for me, it didn't really cut it for me. A lot of things weren't realistic, I've already mentioned, so I don't know. I even saw someone tweet that they almost slept off until the end. Like, yeah. 5, I'm actually glad that the whole cleanse, promise, everything thing has, been dragging on, has finally come to an end now. I'm hoping that they also wrap up every other thing like that. And yeah, that's really what I have to say. Thank you so much. If you've gotten to this part, you're the real MVP. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you've not. Follow me on all my socials. They'll be in the description box below. Please like this video, comment, tell me your thoughts about it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.